Hello and welcome to Chasing Diecast Cars. This is a video about the 2018 Majorette premium cars. Unlike the 2016 and 2017 premium cars, on which I also did a video that you can find in my Majorette playlist, the 2018 assortment is not limited by 21 cars that are presented in a leaflet or a flyer like this. I just based myself on the catalog that has 32 cars in it. The leaflet or flyer on the blister is replaced by a card that shows the vehicle in it, and on the back there's some stats, some information on the vehicle. So let's start. Oh, by the way, also at the end I will show two extra cars that were in the European assortment. So in fact there's going to be 34 cars that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so keep watching till the end. Number one, this is in alphabetical order like it is in the catalog, is the well-known Alfa Romeo Giulietta in red. Very nice casting. It's got a hatch or a tailgate that opens up like that. So what is so special about premium cars? Premium cars all have suspension, and they all have one or two opening parts, whereas the street cars only some have suspension and none of them have opening parts. There's also always a production date on the base of the car. This is the 2016 production. I did not buy the 2018 one because it's exactly the same as this one, so why buy exactly the same car again with just another date on it? Did not want to do that. And there will be several cars that I will show from previous years that are just the same in the 2018 assortment. That's the first one. I'm going to put that back over there. Then this is the first new one we're going to open up. This is the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. So a little bit more information here. What does this code mean? 229 stands for Aston Martin. The D stands for the fourth model of Aston Martin, being A the first model, B second model, C the third, so D is the fourth. -1 means this is the first color of this model. Now some other brands have multiple digits for their models. Aston Martin only has 229, but most other brands have several digits for their models. Why that is, I don't know, I could not explain that to you. It just is what it is. So here on the side it says premium cars, and then here on the back you got a lot of information, and here in the corner, where it's not always on the same spot on the card, is the packaging date when the vehicle was packaged. So this is July 2018, and here at the bottom the production date is May 2018. So there's 2 months between production and packaging. That's not always the case, but in this case that's the case. So let's open it up. So this is the car, and then let's get out the little card here. So this side you've already seen, and then this is some information on the actual car. You can freeze the frame if you want to read that. So here you go. Let's take a look at the base. I've already showed it through the packaging. There you go. So got a little bit of suspension, not much, but you know, it's a race car, so it doesn't need a lot of suspension. So most of these will have lensed headlights that are part of the windscreen most of the time. This one does have the new wheels, which I think are really nice. It's got deco, decals, tampos, whatever you want to call it, all around. So, very nice one. Next up is the Audi. Oh, sorry, I'm going too fast. I have to follow my list. This is the next one, the Audi A1 in blue. Already have seen this previous years too, so not going to spend too much time on it. And then we go to the S5. Now I've got two versions of it. I've got one with some old wheels on it, and I've got one with the new wheels on it. When you look at the card that it comes with, it has the new wheels on both of the vehicles. So even the one with the old wheels has got the new wheels on the card. The new one, that's the production date, and then the one with the old wheels does not have a production date on it. I'll open up the one with the new wheels. I think you'll want to see that. These cards are a bit difficult to get out. There's a, I'll show it. There's a lip here that keeps the cards inside the blister. And that way you have to kind of push them together to get them out, and that's just not easy, but I have a tool here that hopefully will help getting them out. Yes. So this side you've already seen. So this is the number. So this is already, I think, the 8th model of Audi and this numbering, but they also have a different numbering. S5, this is a retooling of the A5 Coupe. So here you go, some stats. You can freeze that if you want. Open the door a little bit further. So here you go, got a new grille in front. It says S5. And same on the back here, it says S5. We got the double exhaust now, so the base has changed a little bit because that's part of the base. And of course, as usual, a nice interior. I'm not sure whether that has changed in comparison to the A5 Coupe, probably not. So next up is the Bentley Continental GT. Already have seen that in the past years. Very nice model. Then next up is the Chevrolet Camaro in red. It's the same color as last year, but it's got new rims. So that's cool. So we are going to open up this one too. Production date, packaging date. And the card. This one falls out just like that. Nice and easy. So here it is. So as usual, suspension, this got a little bit more. Opening doors, and then the new wheels with the chrome ring or lip around it. Something different, something special that you don't see every day. Next up we've got a recolor. This is the Citroen C4 Cactus. go. This is the card, and then this is the back. Take a look at the base here. Suspension, not a lot, just a little. Opening hatch. In a nice blue color. Next up, the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Same color as last year, but it's got the new rims, the new wheels also. So here's the card, and then we got the stats on the back, and here's the vehicle. It's a big one, hardly fits in the screen. So this one has got Majorette written on the tires. As the base, you can see the suspension bars there. Not a lot of suspension, but you know, it's kind of a sports car, so it doesn't need a lot of suspension. Next up, we got the Dodge Viper SRT in blue, same as last year. Then number 10 was supposed to be the Ford Mustang V8 GT in orange, according to the catalog, but that one did not get released in 2018. We will see a Ford Mustang V8 GT being released in 2019. Well, actually several, but not in orange, like the catalog says in 2018. Other colors, other versions. So looking forward to that. Then number 11, the Ford Raptor in matte black. This is a retooling of the Ford F-150. Big one. So here's the card. Here's the back. In this case, it's the hood or bonnet that opens. So we get some suspension. We get a trailer hitch. This is the base. Big Ford on the grille and on the back tailgate. It also says F-150 on the left and Raptor on the right. Very nicely detailed. Very nice one. Next up, we got a new model on the Civic Type R in white. So here we got the card. And then on the back, the info. this case it's the hatch that opens. It opens pretty far, and I think it's metal, yeah, seems to be metal, so that's cool. We got suspension, that's the base. Pretty nicely detailed. Nice one in the back too. New wheels on it with a red ring. Very cool. Next up we got an oldie, a Honda CRZ in matte black. This one also, the back hatch opens. Won't stay open. Oh, yes it does. And the next one is also one that is a few years old, Jaguar F-Type in orange. Next one is one from last year. The Lamborghini Huracan Avio in green. Even this one has some suspension. And the next one is a new model. This is the Lamborghini Urus in yellow. I found this at a Müller store in Germany, and this has a code, barcode that says here M11, which I think M stands for Müller, and then this will be the 11th model they done for Müller, and these separate packagings for them, because they only get a few of the premium cars, and this was one of them. It's not a Müller exclusive, by the way. It's just they only get a few of the premium cars, and that's probably why they get a special barcode. This is the card, and on the back some info. So let's look at the base first. Well, it's got a lot of suspension, but you know, it's an SUV, so it needs to have that. Otherwise you can go off-road with it. So that makes sense. Also got the trailer hitch. Looking cool, although in real life I'm not a huge fan of this model, but you know, as a toy car it's kind of cool. Next up, again a new model, the Land Rover Defender 110 in silver. Number 266B-1. So this one has an opening hood or bonnet. That's the farthest it opens apparently. So this is also very nicely detailed. I don't know, there's not much to see there in the engine bay. It's all black in there. Got the new off-road wheels. Got the spare tire in the back, which does look a little bit different. Trailer hitch, fully tempoed in the back, all the lights are there. Here you have the fuel filler cap, door handles, and then the little window on top. It's a nice one. I love it. Then next up we got the Evoque in orange from previous years. Here's the back that opens up. Then we got the Mercedes G-Class G63 AMG, also from previous years, actually released in 2017, I mean. Then we got the Mercedes A-Class. This one, the hatch opens, also the same as the previous years. And then we got the GL in blue, also the same as the previous releases. Next up we have a new model. So this is the, well, it's not a new model, it's a recolor, I'm sorry. The Nissan GT-R in metallic orange. I've seen a orange version on the FaxDat channel that my friend Fax has shown, but that one is a matte orange from 2014. This is a metallic orange, so a little different, but not that much. It does have the new wheels, 214D-1. Take a look at the base here. Little suspension, just enough. Perfect. Very nice casting. Next up we go to one of the French cars. This is a Peugeot 3008 GT. This is a new model. Now I forgot, no, I'm going to point it out later on. Let's see, this is one of the early ones I found in France. Talk about that in a sec. Come on. I'd have to use my tool again. Yep, there it goes. So, number 205L-1. So this has an opening hatch. This is as far as it opens. This is the base. Again, a lot of suspension, as it should have, because this is an SUV. Very nice detailed grille there. Very nice new wheels also. Trailer hitch. There's nothing in the boot or trunk. Does need to be. Cool model. Then next up we've got a recolor of the Peugeot 308. This time actually it's kind of a new model. It's not a recolor. Before it was called GT, and now I see it's called GTI. So that's actually a new model, although it probably is more of a retooling than a new model, I think. We'll, if I don't forget, do a comparison at the end of the video after I showed the two extra ones. sometimes the cardboard gets stuck to the blister piece where the car is in, and that's why you see it's glued to it. That's why sometimes these packages open a little bit more difficult. So we've got the 205J-1. So this is an actual realistic livery. You might think it's a fantasy one, but it's not. These cars come like that. Of course you can choose the color, but this is one of the possibilities. Got the new rims, got the two-tone color. I think they done a really good job on it. I think that's a difficult thing to do for a diecast manufacturer, to do it like this, to have a two-tone like this. So well done, Majorette. It's very impressive that they could do this. Here's the base. It's got very little suspension, just a little bit in the front. That's cool. Nicely detailed grille there. It does say GT on the side, so it says GTI on the card, but it says GT on the side, and it says GT on the base too. So it's in the color scheme of the GTI, but it's actually still the GT tooling. Next up, another Peugeot. I will show the card first, but I have a loose one from a 3-pack. So here you have the card 205i-2 Peugeot 508 SW, which stands for station wagon. It's one of the early ones also. And this is the actual vehicle. It's got an opening tailgate. So the recolor, used to see it in black previous years, now we get this metallic dark gray. Next up is the Porsche 718 Boxster in yellow. Now if you have seen my 2017 video, you know well, maybe you don't remember, but you will see I struggle with the top, the roof. I will show that in a second. This is the base. Well, you've already seen that in the video of last year. Now it comes off easily, and how's that? Because I made an adjustment. There's a big lip or tab here on both sides that prevents it to come out of there easily. So I've cut these off, and that way I can take it off and put it back on much easier. So if you have one of these, I suggest you do the same. It'll make your life much easier. They probably do that because when kids play with these, the soft top would get lost immediately, and that way it stays on, because a kid is not able to get it off. It's so tight, it's just impossible. Now I can take it off and put it back on very easily, because the two lips in the front, they keep it down very well, as you can see. Next up, another Porsche, the Cayenne in a dark gray. Already have seen that previous years. There's the tailgate that opens. Then we got okay, I've skipped one. Yeah, I skipped the 911, but it's still a Porsche, and that's okay. This is a new model, 2018. So 209H-1. This is as far as the door will open. That's the base. Very little suspension. Very good looking car, although it is still on old wheels. That's a bit disappointing. I think it might be found with new wheels already, I don't know. This wing here is plastic, but it's got a little bit of red paint on it, which makes it look way better than the old 911. Just had a black plastic wing and made it look very plasticky. So we've seen the Cayenne number 28 and number 29, the Renault Megane Coupe. So here is something I want to show. I've got two of these packaged. Okay, so this is the first one I found in the beginning of 2018. So everything is the same as the other card, just here it just says premium, it doesn't say cars. In the back here, the barcode, it says SMO, which stands for Smoby. Smoby is the importer of Majorette in France, because Majorette used to be a French brand. Now it is owned by the German toy company Simbadiki, and they are produced in Thailand, so they have to be imported into France, of course. And this importer, this French importer, has got some special packagings that it asks for. So these were sold in the beginning of 2018. These were the only ones you could get, the 5 French vehicles in this assortment. And they were a little bit cheaper too. And they also had a 3-pack. So 2 3-packs. This is the 3-pack. It's empty now, taking the cars out. Like that. That also has the SMO on it. So these would hold, each 3-pack would hold 3 French cars. This one does have the cars on it. So this is just a normal assortment card. So there's 2 versions of the card you can have. Premium is a word they also know in French. Cars not. Cars is English. In French it would be voiture. So that's why they don't put on the card on the specific French card. But this I also found in France, so it's not that you can also only find the premium card without the cars. You can find both of them in France. Now, enough gibberish about that. You want to see the cars. This is one I got loose from the 3-pack. So this is a recolor. You previously saw it in matte black. There's the base, suspension. Then next up we've got the Subaru Wrx Sti, favorite of mine. Very cool car. This is 275D-1. But I've got it loose from 2017, so that's the one we're going to look at. It's exactly the same. Just give it a spin. Number 31, VW Beetle. Now this is a 2013 version, yeah, so it is still the same color. Got opening doors, only the wheels are different. I think the 2018 version has these wheels, so imagine these wheels on that car. I like these better, I have to say. And then the last one in the catalog is the black Volkswagen Golf Mark 7 GTI in black. This also has been the same one for several years. Very cool car nonetheless. So, as promised, that's not all. There were 2 extra cars in the European assortment. France got this one. This was in the 3-pack where I showed the box of. So this is a Renault Kangoo Express. Also has suspension, also has an opening part, in this case the hatch in the back. So it is a premium car. It's a little van, small van. Very cool. So it was only found in the 3-pack, and I think those 3-packs were only available at Carrefour hypermarkets. In 2019 you can find this one in the singles assortment, so that will be easier for everyone to get one, and that way you don't have to buy a 3-pack with 2 cars in it that you already have. So that's way better. And then the other exclusive was a German exclusive that I found in the Müller stores. That's this one, a green version of the Land Rover Defender. So 266B-2, where the silver one was -1. So here we get again an M, probably for Müller, and then number 12. So in this case this is an exclusive. This is not one that is part of the regular assortment in 2018. The front and the back of the card. And here's the model. It's in a very nice striking green. Maybe you could call it British racing green. I don't know if that's accurate. Trailer hitch also, and all the lights are detailed in the back. Also the fuel filler cap. Did not paint the inside of the engine bay, unfortunately, but when it's closed you don't see that. Very cool. So for those of you who are still watching, I'm going to end with putting the new stuff together. So the new castings, we got, zoom out a little bit, so we got these 2, we got the Aston Martin, we got the Honda Civic, we got the Defender, I already have the Urus, the 3008 SUV, and then the Porsche 911. Then the retoolings as the Audi S5 and the Ford Raptor. Oops, sorry. No accidents here, please. Then the recolors. We got the Citroen C5 Cactus. We got the Nissan GTR. We got the, move these a little bit forward here so you can see everything. at the Peugeot 308, although they want us to believe that's a new model, but of course it is not. 508 station wagon and the Renault Megane. There you go. Let's take a quick look at some previous versions of the, this is the retooled ones. So here you have the Audi A5 Coupe and then the S5 next to it. So you get some smaller headlights, you get a new grille, and you get a new bumper altogether. Actually the nose is, as what I can see, completely new. The rear view mirrors get a little bit smaller on the new casting. Then from the side it looks pretty much the same. And in the back it looks pretty much the same, except for the exhausts, of course. The bumper piece, the lower bumper piece is different. The rest of it, maybe the taillights are a little bit smaller. Yeah, probably are, but it's hard to see. So that's those two. Then we got the F-150. So this is the left one is the regular F-150 and the right one is the Raptor retooling. So they've done a really nice job on that. Completely different grille and bumper. The bumper is not that different, but it is different. I don't know if it will show up on camera, but they did change it up a little bit. So very nicely done. From the side looks pretty much the same. And then in the back it seems it's pretty different too, though not that much actually. Just more detailed, but it's actually the same, I think. So that's also very nice, nicely done. And then the others are recalls, but maybe it's interesting just to look at this one, because this they want us to think it's a new model, but actually, as you can see, it's got not much of a difference there. Again, extremely well done paint job on the new one. It's very impressive. The back completely the same. It doesn't even have a different exhaust, which it should have if it was a proper GTI. Because the GT has these fake exhausts. So you see these two pieces here, those are fake. There's actually an exhaust behind it that is pointed downwards, whereas the proper GT would have real round exhaust pipes coming out of the back. So if they would have done a proper retooling, then that would be the case, but I don't care. It's a very well done paint job and it makes it look like a proper GTI. So they get all the points for that. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.